Live? Live. Okay.
Yeah, we're live. All right.
Hey, there we go. That's okay. Sorry, we're a couple minutes late. Few technical issues.
Yep.
Oh my lord, this is gonna be
It's gonna be
interesting.
great.
All right, so maybe we should. Well, I'm sure if the people like your viewers, my viewers, whatever, if they're coming to the stream, then they're probably already here. But
Oh, that's true. I guess I could send out something on the Discord and let people know. Should I do that?
yeah, maybe I
Cool.
should. All right, hold on. I got to my moderated friend. It's live.
Cool. Oh yeah, I got the stream up right here on my phone. Cool. Wow, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me get.
We are live! Exclamation mark. Boom. Cool.
Okay. Oh, what did I just hit? Okay. Okay. We should be good.
Sweet.
Hey guys. Wow.
Hey everyone.
That was literally the worst start to a live stream I think I've ever done.
It's all good.
Yeah.
We're just hanging out. I mean,
Yeah. It's not gonna be formal. I mean, who formal? Like what?
yeah, this is probably gonna be pretty casual, I assume,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Yeah. Like formal stuff. Like that's why I hate like like I don't think it doesn't seem like you really do it. Or if you do it, then you're really good at it. But people who
Thank you.
script their videos, like some like do you script your videos at all?
I used to script my videos like from start to finish, word for word, but now I usually just kind of write down like some key like things I want to touch on, but I don't like script out word for word anymore.
Yeah, that's what I do. It's like if you script it, right? I did a video a while back where I did like my top 10 or whatever favorite Mario Party games. I actually scripted that video and it was so bland because my voice when reading from a script is so monotone. So,
yeah, same here.
Yeah, so I just gotta go off the cuff,
Yeah, and after a while you found a healthy balance that it works perfectly where there's like enough script to casual and conversational enough to where it works well.
Exactly. So for people who are going to be here or who are here who are from my usual live streams I do basically every weekend, this one's going to be different. I am looking at the comments, but I'm not really going to read most of them live until the end, like for questions and stuff. But I will say, your friend Paige says that she's only here for formalities. So I mean, we got to pick up.
Oh, Paige is here?
Yeah, Paige.
Wow.
I'm presuming.
Oh yeah, next Paige. What's up, Paige?
Yeah, what's up? And my friend Rail Mango is the moderator. So Rail Mango,
hello, Rail Mango. How's it going?
My guy. So
all right.
So if you have any questions or anything like Nintendo related, we'll or gaming related in general, we'll give them the stream.
Yeah. But if it's a really good question, then maybe we'll answer it just right when you ask it, though.
Yeah. My friend.
Like it's gonna be like a really good question. I'm like, oh, shoot, I just have to answer it.
And if it's relating to maybe what we're talking about at that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So if it's like, for example, if we're talking about Luigi's Mansion 3 and there's an Animal Crossing related question, we'll probably answer that later.
Yeah. Totally. Sounds good.
All right. So let's look at our actual document.
Let's do it. Yeah. So we got a document set up, kind of some key things that we want to focus on during this stream discussion thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just gonna go off of this.
So firstly, let's look at you. Well, okay, hold on. Well, first thing a few minutes. Okay. So what's for the people who are watching, who are my viewers, who've never seen your YouTube channel? What do you do? What are you about?
Yeah. So my channel's called CC Media. It's all about Nintendo. I've been doing it. I don't know. I guess I've been doing it like a year and a half or 2 years now, kind of off and on. But I've reached a point for the past like 6 to 8 months where I've actually been doing it a ton, having a lot of growth. It's all about Nintendo, so I try to focus on doing as unique Nintendo content as possible. So, for example, there's a series I do with my friend David called Hey Listen, and it's really fun and casual and silly. Where basically we'll play Nintendo music and then the first person to guess the Nintendo song wins. That's really fun. There's a lot of really silly, crazy moments there. So yeah, I guess in general, summing CC Media up, it's all about Nintendo, but also kind of unique and different and exciting and just fun. And casual. And oh, I forgot about one big thing. The kind of like tagline I have for CC Media is the ultimate Nintendo community. Obviously, I have like 500 subscribers right now, so it isn't quite at that level yet, but hopefully it will be there soon. But even though I obviously don't have as many subscribers compared to like what Game Explain or I don't know, Switch Force, I still feel like we have a good community even the way it is now, and it's just growing more and more every day. So that's what CC Media is about, fun Nintendo content.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Raul Mango. He put your channel link in the description. So
thank you so much. Yeah, go check it out if you guys are interested.
Yeah, that's really cool. And the thing that sets you apart from like Game Explain and Switch Force is honestly I love watching your content because it's
thanks.
It's so like you don't see. I mean, a little bit with Game Explain, but like, hey, listen, I freaking love. Like, I go along. I kind of play along with you guys.
Yeah, that's what's fun about it. You can play along with it.
Exactly. Totally. I love it. It's so much fun.
Well, thank you.
Anytime. I guess because you have quite a few of your peeps here. So
cool.
I'll talk about my a little bit before we get started. My name is Zach.
Go ahead.
Howdy. How you guys doing? I also do purely Nintendo well, not pure. I can't actually not purely Nintendo content. I kind of do whatever the hell I want. But I like since a lot of my subscriber base likes my Luigi's Mansion videos I tend to do a lot of those because Luigi's Mansion, favorite game of all time, if you didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
I talk about whatever I want to. Like, I'm looking through my videos now. Like, I did a video about SpongeBob SquarePants about Bikini Bottom. Great freaking game, by the way. So I just kind of do whatever I want. But most of my content is Nintendo or gaming in general. And I don't make as unique of content as CC Media does. But nevertheless.
Oh, your content's awesome.
What?
Your content's awesome, though.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But either way, we all make our own unique content. That's what makes us us. Right? We have unique content. So
yeah.
All right, let me pull the doc back up. This is
right.
Okay, so let's turn to you, and I'm gonna ask you this: Nintendo. Obviously, our channels are about Nintendo. That's what we play. What was your experience in terms of growing up with Nintendo? Like, how did Nintendo impact your life as like a child, and how it stretches to now?
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. The first Nintendo console I owned, I'm pretty sure, was, or at least that I can like consciously, was a handheld. It was the Game Boy. It's back here somewhere. Oh, where is it?
The one right behind you by the cappy.
Not that one. It was the one. It was a flip screen. It was blue.
Oh, the one that's right next to it.
Oh yes, it's hiding behind this cartridge for whatever game that is. This what was it? Game Boy Advance SP. This was my first Nintendo console or experience. And then the game I had with it was Super Mario Bros. 3, and I played that game like to death. I loved that game so much. But I was really young. I like didn't even know it was a Mario game. You know, it was just this game where there was this character moving to the side and you had to get to the end. But I loved it. And then fast forward like a year or so, there was this kid at my school who had a Nintendo DS. And to me, I was probably 6 or 7. That was like a huge deal. And I always loved just going and like borrowing her DS to play New Super Mario Bros. Because to me at that time, it was basically like a cooler looking version of Super Mario Bros. 3, which was the only other game I was familiar with. Obviously, Mario Bros. 3, whatever, not completely sure, but then New Super Mario Bros. Was on a way higher quality system, even though it was just the DS. Yeah. So like it was like my dream for a really long time to have my own Nintendo DS. And then finally for Christmas one year, my parents got me a DS, and it was like this amazing feeling. And so ever since that point, I just like kept up with Nintendo, all their main Mario games, especially. Mario is kind of my specialty, I guess. But after a while, I got into Zelda also. And ever since then, Nintendo's just like played a huge role in, I don't know, it's just like a lot of people grew up with certain characters, whether it's like characters from books, like a lot of kids grew up reading the Harry Potter series, for example. Yeah, I know, you're a Harry Potter one, because I saw it on the channel. It's pretty cool. But like for me, it wasn't books. I watched some movies. I didn't get into movies till later, but I'm a big movie fan now. But it was mostly Nintendo characters that I kind of grew up with. And so that's kind of the biggest role Nintendo played in my life. The characters and just kind of like the joy and fun of the games. Like I reached a point where a lot of my friends started playing the more serious, like realistic games, like the shooters and those sorts of things. But I never really got into that. I always stayed interested in Nintendo. just because it had established such like a special like happy spot in my heart, just because of how like joyful and fun and colorful these games are. That's why I love Nintendo, and that's why I started this channel, because I do have friends in real life who are interested in Nintendo, but I started this channel really to help grow an even bigger community of people who love this amazing company, and we can all kind of talk about it together, just kind of like you and I are doing right now, just talking about Nintendo and kind of sharing that love for this company. That's my very long answer.
I mean, hey, you can talk as long as you want. We can be here all night if you want to. But for me, I grew up. Well, my first system was the original Xbox, but I also grew up with the Game Boy Advance SP, and actually, coming from a retro game collector, I had the Pikachu one when I was a kid, the very
Cool.
rare Pikachu one, and me being like 5, 6, 7, I lost it.
Yeah.
So it's like, shit. But yeah,
That sucked.
I grew up with Mario 3 on the Game Boy.
Oh yeah.
Love that game. Mario Golf, Mario Tennis on the Game Boy. Great games.
So
and,
good.
And then eventually I moved on and played the GameCube. And I love
GameCube.
GameCube. I love the GameCube so much that, like, because I got my first GameCube, like my own first GameCube, in 2007-ish.
Yeah.
And that's when the Wii came out. And I wanted the GameCube because I had memories of it with my old stepbrother when my mom
Yeah.
together. And I had memories of that. I didn't want the Wii, even though I could play GameCube games on it. I wanted the GameCube because it was the GameCube. And
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't bother with the Wii generation.
Right.
A library of GameCube games to play. Like,
yeah.
I grew up with like Mario Party and Luigi's Mansion.
Oh yes.
That. So like that's where my love stemmed from, those original experiences playing Mario Golf and Mario Tennis on the Game Boy, and then Luigi's Mansion and Mario Party on the GameCube, and then just kind of stemmed from there. And even though nowadays I'm very disappointed with Nintendo in a lot of areas, which we will talk about.
Oh yeah, same here.
We will talk about that, but it's just like looking back and it's like what they can do. It's just like it's amazing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. All right, Docs again.
Here we go. Next topic.
All right. So I guess it's actually that what I just talked about kind of leads into this point.
Yeah. Good stuff.
How do you think nowadays, 2019, 2018, Nintendo Switch, how is Nintendo doing? How are they doing in terms of like making good games and having a good console and like keeping it going? How do you think they're doing?
I think it all kind of, there was a time when I really started to get into Nintendo's, like specifically in terms of following like the news and really kind of having a better understanding of like what the company was actually doing and the games they were creating versus just kind of, hey, a new Mario game, I'm going to play it. And that phase kind of happened, I think, kind of with the Wii U, because I'm younger than you, so the Wii U was like kind of it. That's just the point where I really started to understand Nintendo more as like a company and have a better kind of grasp on like what all their franchises were and everything. And so that's kind of like where my answer probably begins. And obviously the Wii U at that time, Nintendo wasn't doing too well. And I think the biggest issue with the Wii U, there were many, but the biggest issue was that I think Nintendo was kind of trying to hold on to the whole. Nintendo was just at this weird transitioning point between like their ideals and their values as a company, because with the GameCube was a pretty gaming dedicated console. The Wii was pretty much the opposite, where in like the activity and the movement, those sorts of things. With the Wii U, they were kind of trying to merge the two, in my opinion. Like they were trying to make it a more gaming dedicated console, but they still kind of were holding on to the whole family, like together party vibe. And so that's kind of why it flopped, because didn't really know what it was trying to be. With the Switch, however, thank goodness they kind of got their ground again and they were really able to pick things back up. So in general, I think Nintendo is like doing better than average in terms of like the level of like success that they've been at in the past. But I will say, like, the first year of the Switch was amazing, and I think it's because they spent a lot of the time that they were working on the Wii U. They spent a lot of the Wii U time making the games for the Switch. kind of pre-making them so that the Switch library would be amazing, because they kind of knew the Wii U was a flop after a certain point. So that's when they were releasing games like Breath of the Wild, Splatoon 2, Odyssey, like those 3 big games in that first year. It was unbelievable. 2018, I'll be honest, has been a little bit not a Switch, in my opinion, as many big games, obviously with the exception of Smash Bros. And I guess maybe Let's Go, Pikachu, and Eevee, but I'm not a huge Pokemon fan. I'm just not really into it.
Because it's like it split the Pokemon community. It was
yeah, exactly. So I mean, besides Smash, 2018 wasn't as big as 2017. So honestly, I feel like right now Nintendo's kind of at a lower point of the Switch's life cycle. But I think they have enough announced games for the future, like Luigi's Mansion 3 and Animal Crossing, and I was gonna say Pikmin 4, but Pikmin 4 like isn't even announced, but we know it exists, so it's kind of a weird situation. But would they have enough? Oh, Metroid Prime 4, that's another example, even though it's been delayed. They have enough games coming in the future for us to be hopeful, and I think for the Switch to kind of pick up a little more steam coming 2019, in my opinion. So that's kind of my stance on where they are right now.
Yeah. So quickly before I kind of get in, I'm looking at the chat right now. I think, I don't know about you, but we do see the chat. It's just like, we're kind of like, we don't want to like keep interrupting like our stories to keep, reading the chat. So that's why we're just like not really reading the chat, but I will read.
Sorry guys.
I will read a few points here that some people have brought up.
Yeah, totally.
Lightning Quiz 7 says there's a 2-year anniversary of the Switch is tomorrow. And that is true.
That's true. I completely forgot.
Really coincidental.
Yeah.
I actually do you remember when did you get Switch day one?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. Like, do you have any cool story, or was it just kind of got my Switch?
Oh yeah, so I got my Switch. It was the midnight release. They actually released it at like 11 p.m. on March 2nd, which was kind of nice. So I got it like an hour early. I guess that might be normal, but I got home. I'll try to keep this concise. I haven't told the story in a long time. With the Switch, I just got the Switch itself. I got 2 pairs of Joy-Cons, or like the set that came with the Switch along with another pair, because I couldn't decide between gray and the neon colors.
Understandable.
And, like, I went all in for the launch. Completely games along with that, Breath of the Wild and 1-2 Switch. And so when I went to the GameStop to get it, they were like handing out the Switches and the games super fast, because there were like hundreds of people there for the Switch launch. So they just dropped 2 games in my bag, and then I left, and I didn't even look until I got home. And then finally, when I got home, I looked inside the box and I realized it was 2 copies of Breath of the Wild. Like, they didn't give me my 1-2 Switch. It was just 2 copies of Breath of the Wild. So that's like I guess the story. So the next
1-2 Switch. So it's like
I know, yeah. So the next day, I told my dad, and I was pretty sad because I was actually going to go to school the next day and play 1-2 Switch with all my friends, and I was super excited. So the next morning, my dad went to GameStop, traded in, or like brought the Breath of the Wild copy, told him what happened, and they gave him 1-2 Switch. Then he drove it to school for me so I could play it with my friends before recess. So like I was able to play 1-2 Switch with all my friends at recess, and it was like the coolest thing because it was like a funny mistake on GameStop's part, and like a really cool thing my dad did. And so that's like my story of the Switch launch. It was pretty like hectic, but it ended up being okay. So yeah.
Yeah. I feel you. Mine isn't as interesting, but it's still good nevertheless. I'm in college to become a school teacher. I know I don't look it, but I had to do some classroom observations the day that the Switch came out. And I was like, I can't go to like a midnight release because I have to be up to go to the classroom the next morning. And I remember my mother went to just pick it up for me because I already paid it off. So it was just simple as going to pick it up. And she came. Like I came home and like instantly, I just got home from helping a bunch of kids with their math, whatever. And I was like, right, time to film a video unboxing the Switch. So, that is cool, but it was like getting home from teaching a bunch of kids, doing something I'm going to do in the future just to get like my Switch. I was like, oh my Lord, it was much worth it.
Yeah, totally.
Breath of the Wild. I was never really into Zelda games. Like Majora's Mask I liked, but I've never been into the Zelda games. But Breath of the Wild, oh my God.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty similar. I only played Wind Waker HD before I played Breath of the Wild, and I loved that game. But I didn't have like an understanding of the entire like Zelda franchise as a whole and how all the games connected. when I played Breath of the Wild, I was just completely blown away. Like you could go in that game as like the biggest Zelda fan or as not a Zelda fan at all and still enjoy it.
Exactly.
Awesome.
That's why I wish they would take their iconic games and we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later. It's on the agenda.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
All right. So that answers that. Okay. All right. So the next point that we have is, what did you think about that latest Nintendo Direct that was like 2 weeks ago? What did you think of it, and what was the other point? And how do you think Nintendo will manage their 2019, because they have so many games that are slated for the latter half of the year, like June and August. So how do you think they'll manage that, and how do you think they did?
So firstly, for the Nintendo Direct, I need to think back. The big two things I remember are probably the big two things that everyone liked the most about it, and that's Super Mario Maker 2 and Link's Awakening HD. I mean, is it even HD? It's like it's a full-on remake. And both of those I'm super excited about. I never played Link's Awakening. That's one of the few Zelda games I've literally never touched. Like there are a couple that I've played briefly, and then others that I've played all the way through, but that one I've never even I don't know anything about it. So I'm excited to give that a shot. And then Mario Maker 2 also looks great. I did a video where I went through the trailer analyzing it, but I didn't post it because it's been 2 weeks since the Direct, first off, and secondly, you can find all that information. There are a ton of videos of people analyzing it.
Yeah.
So I'll kind of just say some of the things I would have said in that video. Super excited about it. I really like kind of the user interface, how they're updating it. How you select items with a wheel. That's the best way I can put it. The 3D world art style is interesting, and it makes me wonder if they're going to do something related to the 2D sections in Galaxy and Galaxy 2. Something like that, or even Super Mario Land and Super Mario Land 2. That would be awesome. Art styles for those games, it makes me wonder. But overall, I thought the Direct was okay. I thought those two announcements were awesome. Everything else, I more or less couldn't care less about, to be honest. It was mostly stuff that I wasn't too interested in.
Yeah.
I found it funny when they announced the new update for Smash Ultimate. They were it was hilarious. I filmed the whole reaction to the Direct, and like the Mario Maker thing, I didn't end up posting it because it was, I don't know, it was kind of boring, and I don't like doing reactions very much anyways. But I just laughed so hard at that. They're update 3.0 for Smash Bros. Or whatever it was. And it's we're so excited to tell you more details about this new update for Super Ultimate. We're here. I just laughed so hard. They were by the way, here's this crazy new update, but we're not going to tell you about it.
Yeah, they did the same exact thing with Bayonetta 3 too.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, they did. And I haven't played the Bayonetta games, but I totally could recognize why that would make people so angry.
Yeah, because it's kind of like Metroid at this point, where it's we know it exists. We've known about it for over a year, but they just haven't said anything about that.
Yeah.
So
same with Pikmin 4 too.
Crossing and Luigi's Mansion. Because what if we just don't hear about those games? What if they get the Yoshi treatment and we don't?
Oh my gosh, that's what I was going to say. Crafted World. It was it had the title of whoa. It was called Yoshi. My earbuds just swung around. It just they announced it at 1 E3 and then didn't say anything for a year and a half. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. And Nintendo does that too often. It kind of stinks.
Yeah,
but,
I feel they just announce games too early. Like Animal Crossing.
Totally.
Metroid Prime 4 is a perfect example. They announced it.
Yeah, it was just the PNG of the logo.
Yeah. They said, oh, in development, we don't have anything to show you. Hell, they probably didn't really even start all the and all that. They didn't have, there's nothing. So they completely scrapped it, and they're restarting it from scratch.
And when it's Nintendo and you see that they don't have much of a game to show, it's because they don't have much of that game made yet. They do definitely like to announce stuff early.
Yeah, that's because Smash Brothers was the same thing last year. I mean, granted, we got a little bit of a CG thing with the Inklings and all that, but we didn't.
Yeah, true.
We didn't there's no gameplay or anything like that, so they didn't have much to show. So it's Animal Crossing, that's basically just as much as the Metroid Prime. It's really just a logo. So we're not gonna hear about it for years.
I hope that's not the case, but I have a bad feeling that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
at least they showed us some
Animal Crossing fan, but Animal Crossing fans have been so screwed over the past few years.
I know.
I feel bad for them.
Yeah, same here.
like with Amiibo
There's
Festival and
yeah, Amiibo Festival and the iPhone game too, which was just kind of like mediocre. I didn't even play it.
yeah, me neither. I think I played like Super Mario Run, like the free part, and I was just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I played it and I didn't care to buy the.
Mhm.
But apparently they're
Yeah.
doing well, so I mean,
Yeah, I know. And there's a Mario Kart one coming, which is insane. Mario
yeah,
Kart iPhone game.
I mean it makes sense, but it just feels so weird.
It does feel like it's gonna be weird. Like Mario Kart 8 is, in my eyes, is kind of like the definitive Mario Kart. Like it's really good for the Switch and or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I might have said that. I might have just said Mario Kart 8. But like, so I don't know why they and the Switch is portable and stuff. So yeah,
I just
I don't know.
for a game like Mario Kart, it just seems weird because Mario Kart it's not just like a simple racing game. There's so many intricacies. There's drifting,
Yeah,
shooting items, you know.
totally. And all of those things are a huge part of the gameplay.
Exactly. Like, if you took items out of Mario Kart, it wouldn't be the same. If you took drifting out of
Totally.
Mario Kart, it wouldn't be the same. So how are you going to translate that to a mobile device?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. We'll see though. I mean, Nintendo always figures out a way to whatever surprise us. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
All right. Where were we? Oh, I got it. Okay. How I
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on the Direct in 2019 and everything?
You see, I personally, I'm like you. I did not care for it. I mean,
Mhm.
yes, we got Mario Maker 2 and Link's Awakening, but in my eyes, everyone's like, "Oh, great, we have two new Nintendo games coming out." But in my eyes, it's like we have two more things to wonder about.
Oh, that's so true. That's a really great way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, because we have a bunch of Nintendo games that we don't know about, which I
Mhm.
wanted to hear more about, like Luigi's Mansion, Animal Crossing, Bayonetta,
Yeah.
all that stuff, and we just did not hear about it. And we got these new games that we also really don't know much about. I mean, yeah, we know Link's Awakening. Oh, it's a remake, but it's like, is there going to be anything new? Like, it's a
Yeah. Yeah.
boy game. Like, are they going to add something to it
I
to make
know.
it
And
worth $60 freaking?
totally. I really hope they don't charge $60. I know they're going to
They're
though.
going to. They charge $60 for New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe.
I
Like,
know.
that's how,
They charged, well, I think it was actually $50, but they charged $50 for 1-2 Switch, which is basically like a tech demo for
no,
the
it was
Switch.
it was $60. It was
Are
60
you
bucks.
sure?
Yeah, it was 60.
Dang. I remember it being 50 for some reason. Yeah.
Maybe it was like maybe a promotion thing. I don't know, but
Oh, and like Arms. Arms should
Arms.
have been like 30
I
bucks,
like the music of Arms.
in my opinion.
Forgettable.
Yeah, the music's great. Everything else is just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, like I literally just look at the comments and oh geez, CJ Destroya Gaming said
Mm,
that Nintendo needs that money. Nintendo hates money. That's the thing. Like Nintendo has
yeah.
so many opportunities to do things. Like Luigi's Mansion for the 3DS. If they made that for the Switch, I I heard like I know like I think it sold decently well, but I just think it would have done so much better if like they actually didn't upgrade to it. And Mario Party, the top 100, you're gonna make these games that look better on the Wii and Wii U. Like you're gonna downgrade them for the 3DS.
Oh, I know. Yeah, wait, did you mention Luigi's Mansion 3DS a second ago? Is that what you're saying? You cut out for a second
Yeah.
for
Oh
me.
yeah. Like
Yeah. I agree. Totally.
yeah. Like
Ah,
it does look good, but like
yeah, it does,
but
and
it
it's
runs
cool.
horribly in parts, and it just like and the fact that the 3DS doesn't have a proper thumb like second thumbstick, and no, that nub does not count as a proper
Oh my gosh, I know. For
like
the new 3DS, why didn't they just make a whole
yeah like
second stick?
this is awful. This does not
Yeah.
no it doesn't
And
work.
honestly, like everything else about the new 2DS is actually like the design is really great. I don't know why they didn't.
It's amazing in the
It's
hand.
great.
Green,
Totally.
it's great,
And
but
like kind of the like texture on the top.
yeah,
It's really
no, this doesn't work. No.
why. Yeah. Why? Yeah. Nintendo makes some
Yeah.
strange choices sometimes.
Nintendo always makes strange choices. That's why
very
it's a
true.
love-hate relationship.
Yeah, that's why they're a good company to make content for and talk about because there's always something strange going on at Nintendo to cover.
Exactly. All right. I guess we'll get into the next bullet point here.
Yeah, sure.
So actually, I think we kind of already did a little bit of this, but it's
We
going to be a little
did,
more
yeah.
we're going to talk about games that are coming out and what we want to see from those games. So we're going to start with Luigi's Mansion 3. I want to hear your thoughts because I'm the
Yeah.
big Luigi's Mansion guy.
You are the Luigi's Mansion man. Honestly, like, yeah, I've seen your content. It's pretty awesome. Luigi's Mansion 3. I made a whole video talking about like my history with Luigi's Mansion. Basically, it's like I played the first game for a couple minutes, got terrified, didn't play it again. Finally played Luigi's Mansion like just recently, and I loved it. I actually did play Dark Moon when it came out though, and I actually really enjoyed it at the time. But looking back, I do realize like it's actually a good game, but it's not a good Luigi's Mansion game. That's kind of my general stance on it. So I'm really excited for Luigi's Mansion 3, but I'm also like really skeptical. From a design perspective, it personally doesn't seem like it's off to the right start. Like the designs, in my opinion, in terms of the style and the tone, look a little more akin to Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. In terms of like every shape is everything's kind of twisted. There are no like parallel lines. Everything's a little kind of goofy and cartoony looking, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's realistic.
It's just, yeah, it's kind of like the Next Level Games approach. I think that's who did.
That's who did Dark Moon.
That's who did Dark Moon, exactly. And it's a big design, a big tone shift from the first Luigi's Mansion, which was very much. It looked like a real mansion that you were just like exploring this creepy, big, dark, spooky, dusty mansion, and that's what I want. But that's not what Luigi's Mansion 3 looks like from the trailer. To be honest, like it wasn't really giving me Luigi's Mansion vibes completely, and I think it's also because the camera was really pulled back, which I found a little strange. But that's something I'll probably get used to. It's okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited about it though, and I have faith. Like I have hope that they'll do it right. But from that first gameplay trailer, it seems like it's taking a lot more from Dark Moon, which I'm a little disappointed about. But regardless, I'm gonna play it and I'm probably gonna love it because it's Luigi's Mansion, and the core gameplay, even in Dark Moon, was there and it was great. Things I am happy about though, it's one mansion it looks like, which is awesome. Like a really tall, like hotel looking place, which is cool. So that's neat. It does make me fearful though that the game is going to have a linear structure in terms of like you just kind of make your way up the hotel. I think it's a hotel versus like a wide mansion that you kind of return to places and find keys and find like that sort of thing. That's what I liked about the first game, and they're definitely going to have more of that in 3. But yeah, to sum up my opinion, I'm excited for it, but I'm also equally skeptical and fearful. But I think I do have hope that they'll do a good job with it, for sure.
Yeah, I'm so torn when it comes to this game.
Yeah,
because I'm with you. The fact that it looks so much more cartoony as opposed to really like that's what made the first game so charming. Is that you wouldn't have expected it to be realistic, creepy, atmospheric.
Totally.
I love that, and the music went along. I love the soundtrack.
Oh, that's so true. The soundtrack really sets the tone.
Exactly. Like I prefer, actually, funny enough, I prefer the soundtrack from Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, but the first soundtrack fit the game so much.
Yeah, it fit the theme of the first game's like visuals really well. So yeah, that's a good point.
Exactly. However, the art style for me, that is to me. Like, as much as I do prefer that first art style, I am okay with the second art style as long as the gameplay is good. Like, if they do, like, the mission structure, like, for me, I like the open freeness to explore the mansion. You can go back to where you were in the beginning of the game. Like, I remember Luigi 2 and, like, the second mansion, like, where there's, like, the 2 towers. Like, they didn't want you to go to one part of the tower. They would just block it off with some stupid thing. And they would lock doors that you've already unlocked. So it was stupid.
Yeah, they just forced the game into a linear structure that it wasn't really meant for.
Exactly. And, if they just let me explore, like, I like that a lot more. And, and not having EGAD call you like an obsessed girlfriend.
Oh my gosh, I know.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
And he did it in Luigi's Mansion as well, but you can at least just tap A lot and just skip it, rather than having to be sucked back to a lab and just like
just completely like pauses the flow of the game when you're just like sent back and you have to whatever.
Yeah, especially when it's like some missions, it's like, okay, so let's say I'm in the game. There's missions 2, 3, and 4. In mission 2, I get something to unlock a door. Then at the end of mission 2, it gets stolen, and in mission 3, I have to re-get that thing from like
Yeah,
Pup or
the
whatever.
Polterpup, exactly.
Or I can finally go forward.
Yeah, gosh, that Polterpup.
That's why when I saw it in the trailer, I was like, "Oh,
Yes! Oh my gosh. Yeah, and like the ghost designs too in Luigi's Mansion 3, like they're on the right track.
yes,
They
I
are
like that
closer.
ghost."
They are closer to the first game for sure. I still miss the yellow eyes, to be honest. Like I like the yellow eyes.
I literally said that, the yellow eyes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I hate the minion-y. Like in the second game,
Dude.
they were minions. They were minions.
Wait, do you watch the bit block? We completely agree. Yes.
Yes, I mean, I don't agree with every one of his opinions, but I do watch the
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, totally. That's something he mentioned that like in one of his past videos, and that's like a really good way to put it. They are exactly like minions, like Despicable Me minions. They're all just kind of clones of each other with like default personalities. Like they're goofy and fun, but that's it. So yeah.
Like at least in the first game, if in the first game, if you only fought those common ghosts, it wouldn't be as fun. The portrait ghosts, here we go into this conversation.
Oh, portrait ghosts.
Portrait ghosts add personality and life to the mansion.
Yes, and every room is like built around the portrait ghost of that room too. It's not just like a boss, in the same like arena each time. It's you go and you take the food from Mr. Luggs or whatever when he's eating at the long like dining table, or like there's the guy working out in the gym, and it's like this. It was so creative and cool, and it was able to be goofy and interesting, and even like kind of silly in ways, while still keeping that creepy kind of darker vibe. So that's what was so great about it.
Yeah, and the thing about the goofiness in the first game, it's like in the second game, it like slaps you in the face.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's subtle. It's like,
yeah,
if you use the Game Boy Horror, Luigi would say some sort of weird thing if you scanned over some sort of weird item, and he'd say something weird like, "Oh, that would look nice in my house." Like it's subtle. But in Mansion 2, it's like, "Oh, let's throw this around and have a goofy time." It's like,
that's a really good point. Like I noticed one of the biggest things that's kind of like setting me off about Luigi's Mansion 3 that I'm not super happy about is that the game doesn't seem like, I mean, we've only seen like 30 seconds of footage or whatever, but the thing I love about the first Luigi's Mansion, one of the things is that it really takes its time. Like you're walking in, it's like a 10-second shot of Luigi shining his flashlight. You see the fog, like it takes its time, and that's so great. But like in the Luigi's Mansion 3 trailer, it's like he walks through the door relatively quickly, and it's immediately it's like, whoa, and it's just like, wait, take your time, like let it be creepy, let us anticipate what's gonna happen, don't make it immediately goofy, crazy ghosts, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's just all about finding that balance of cartoony and also the darker kind. I mean, I don't want to say dark because it's not like it's.
Trust me, every video I do about Luigi's Mansion 3, I have to be like, not like Resident Evil dark.
Yeah, exactly. Like just more kind of eerie and even uncomfortable, almost.
Yeah, and
yeah.
Something that we're going a lot into Luigi's Mansion, but but
it's totally fine.
Yeah, but something I really didn't like also about the second game is that, like, in the first game, I mean, granted, it's the first game, so it can get away with it, but it was like you didn't know that like King Boo was the main boss until the fortune teller basically said, "Oh my God, King Boo," and it was like, "Oh wow, it's not Bowser. It's not actually like physically Bowser."
Yes.
In the second game, like you see those little security clips, and you see King Boo. You see him in the.
There's no mystery.
Yeah, you see him in the intro. You see him, and like Egan and Luigi are just like, "Huh, I wonder who it is." Even though like you see King Boo multiple times.
Yeah.
We already know, so it acts like we're stupid. I mean, I know it's kids, but
yeah, it's like you're discovering things like as Luigi discovers them. That's what's great about the first game. Like you're actually like you're playing as Luigi, who's terrified of this mansion, but like in your own mind, you're also kind of constructing like a map of the mansion. Like as the player, as you go through and find different things, and you're discovering things as you go, versus just like the game kind of being handed to you, and you just kind of do it.
Yeah. All right. I think we've talked about this enough. So
let's see.
I think the next one is Animal Crossing. Personally,
Mm,
I'll just go because like I don't really have many expectations for Animal Crossing, simply because I don't really care that much about the Animal Crossing games. But I know that there's a community that loves the Animal Crossing
totally.
games.
Yeah, yeah, for
So, what are
sure.
your opinions on it?
I'm kind of with you in the sense that like Animal Crossing is like on the lower end of Nintendo franchises that I've like played and care about. Just because I don't have much like experience with it. Um, that being said, I do love the franchise and like I've played enough of the games to like recognize what's great about them and what's awesome. So like I'm really excited for Animal Crossing for Switch. I'm gonna get it. It's gonna be the first Animal Crossing game that I'm like genuinely looking forward to. Because by this point, like I said, like I like the games now, but I wasn't into the games back when they were actually like releasing because it's been a while.
Yeah,
So I'm looking forward to it, but we don't know really a whole lot about it, so I don't have much expectations, like you said. So yeah,
really, we don't know anything about
we
it.
we don't know. Yeah, did it
So
say 2019 or was it just kind
it's in
of
2019, yeah. But like I said, Yoshi originally was supposed to be 2018. So
That's true. Yeah, Breath of the Wild was originally supposed to be what 2015. So I mean,
yeah, Metroid
yeah,
Prime was supposed to be 2018 as well, wasn't it? Originally,
exactly. Yeah,
that's probably not till 2020 something.
yeah, yeah. I don't imagine us getting Metroid Prime 4 until probably 2021 at least.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they
I'm
use it though. I wish we could see like what they originally
Yeah,
had planned for it.
yeah, and I think because they're handing it over now to like, is it Retro
Retro
Studios?
Studios, yeah.
Yeah, so I have faith that they're gonna make it great. But whoever was doing it before, it's
It was
probably it
in-house at Nintendo, I believe.
really
Yeah, I think it was in-house, and also I think they had like a
dang
little bit with Namco. Yeah, Namco. Yeah,
Bandai Namco.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not mad about them delaying it, honestly. Like if they don't think it's ready for release, like go ahead and just scrap everything. Make the game that you know will the fans will love and
yeah,
take your time with it. That's kind of how I view it.
yeah. I wish they did that with some other games that they had, but we'll talk about that later. All right. Um,
Okay, Pokemon Sword and Shield.
yeah, Pokemon Sword and
This was just announced. Sword and
just
Shield.
announced a couple days ago. What do you think about it?
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a Pokemon fan. I don't dislike it or anything. I've just like it's one of those series or franchises that like it seems like such a daunting task to get into it because there's so much to know and learn and so much like history and other games off to play. I've just been waiting for a time to really pick up Pokemon until I know I'll have the time to really invest in it. Because a lot of people I know grew up with it and so they know a lot about it, but I didn't. So I don't know a lot about Pokemon, but this from what I can tell, it looks okay. Uh
Like going under the whole Luigi's Mansion 3 Pokemon Let's Go thing where it looks like an up-res 3DS game.
oh my gosh, yes, exactly. Plop the 1080p layer over. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I really don't know anything, so I can't say much. How about you?
Yeah, I played the Pokemon games when I was a kid. Like I
Yeah.
played I think I had Gold on the original Game Boy, and then I played
Mhm.
like maybe I think Fire Red or like Emerald or whatever that on the Game Boy Advance. And then
Yeah.
I did not care for it anymore after it's like the same thing over and over. It's like a Call of
Mhm.
Duty at this point. It's like whatever. But then I saw this, I'm like, I want to get into it. This will sound so horrible, but my problem is that it just like I have a problem paying $60 for a game that Nintendo could do so much better with. Like with Link's Awakening, which we'll talk about in a little bit,
Mhm.
like they can make that game look so much better. Like they could do so much more with it,
Mhm.
with a different art style, whatever. But they choose a route that just doesn't take advantage of what the Switch can actually do.
So true, yeah.
So that's why with Pokemon, it looks good. It looks better than the 3DS versions, but not by that much. Like they can make this amazing. I'm not saying it has to look like Breath of the Wild, but they can make it look so
Right.
much better. And I know people are
Yeah.
very traditionalist and want it to be the same as they remember, but I don't know. Like,
Yeah. I mean, something that looks good about it is seems like there might be like free camera movement as opposed to it being fixed kind of like in a top-down way, which again, like I said, I haven't played Pokemon, but that's something I've heard that people are excited about. So that's cool, but if the graphics like don't look like pleasing, and not that the graphics are like the most or even like at all important for Pokemon games, but still, like it does make a difference. And so, you know, that's a cool thing about the camera movement, I guess.
Yeah, but I'm still not sure about the camera movement because there are some scenes that we see where it looks like it's basically overhead.
Yeah.
So it's like, is it only free movement in some spots and not others, or
Yeah, or like is it like a fixed, like you have to change, kind of like how Breath of the Wild, like it doesn't automatically adjust if you change directions.
no?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. We'll have to wait to hear more. And that's like I said, that's why I didn't like that last direct, because like we have to wait to hear more. That's what I
Yeah.
thought that last direct was for, to hear
I
more.
know, that's what directs are for. That's what makes me so mad. Yeah. It's like, Nintendo, you have all your fans here for this direct. This is the time where you are supposed to announce that information. But the only thing you say in the direct is that you're going to announce more information later. It's like, wait, no, that's why we're here.
Yeah, like they did that in the September direct, at least for me, with the Nintendo Switch Online, where it's like,
yes.
oh, those special offers. Oh, that's probably what you're going to be wanting this online for. It's going to come out next week, but you're not going to know about the special offers until I don't know when. We still haven't heard about them.
Yeah, they basically were just saying, hey, like we might come up with some better reason for you to buy this, but for now, just buy it because it's not that great, but we might make it better. So rely on that hope.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's disappointing. It's disappointing to say the least.
Yep.
Right. Mario Maker 2, what do you want out of it?
Mario Maker 2. I kind of touched on this earlier. I love the first Mario Maker, and I have no doubt that this game is going to be awesome. And I actually think it's going to be bigger than a lot of people think, too, because it had the potential to be way bigger than it was on the Wii U. And even with the Wii U's kind of disadvantages in terms of the install base, like it still did really well. So I think this game's going to be huge, especially with the online capabilities and people being able to share levels. And then, like I mentioned earlier, I think like the design of it looks really great. Curious to see what more art styles they add. I'm hoping they add more. And yeah, this is a game I'm definitely going to pick up. And I'm glad Nintendo's not just releasing, like making more New Super Mario Bros. Games. I mean, granted, they just made New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe.
That, yeah.
But I'm glad they're not spending time making New Super Mario Bros. Game. And they're doing this instead, which basically allows us to make the games ourselves, because I think they're finally realizing people don't care much for the New Super Mario Bros. Games. I think the only reason they released New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe is because honestly, New Super Mario Bros. U, it's like a decent game. Like it's a pretty standard New Super Mario Bros. Game. So I'm cool that they released it on the Switch, and I'm glad they didn't treat it like a big Mario, like one of their big titles. At least it didn't seem that way. If they treated it like it was a new big game, then that's what would have made me really mad.
Yeah, just wish it was.
So I think this is a good, Yeah, exactly. So in general, I think this is a good direction for them to take, like the 2D Mario games. And I think it's awesome that it's a full-on sequel too, rather than a port of the Wii U game. Seems like there's enough new content for that to be the case.
Yeah, and to go on a little tangent before I get into Mario Maker 2, I think that the main problem with the new Super Mario Brothers games is that they all just kind of feel the same. Like, nothing new and refreshing about New Super Mario Brothers U that the past 3 games before it didn't have. In fact, it even took away things. Like, who was that I was watching? Have you ever seen Dashie games? Please tell me you have.
Yeah, somewhat. Not really, though.
Oh my god, I freaking love him. But he played New Super Mario Brothers for the DS, the original New Super Mario.
Yeah.
And like, you know, they had the big mega mushroom. There was the mini mushroom. There was the Koopa shell, like where you can be a Koopa, like basically.
Yes, that game actually had like good creativity.
Exactly. And Mario Brothers U Deluxe, or Mario Brothers U in general, just had the acorn.
Yeah, it had Yoshi's, there was like the Yoshi that could turn into a bubble that could like float you up.
But I don't know. Like I think rolling around in a Koopa shell or being a giant Mario stomping, crushing everything in sight. I don't know. They just took all of that away, and it's like.
Yeah, something that was cool about New Super Mario Bros. DS, also like the first one that you were touching on, is those power-ups were awesome, and part of why they're so special is because like they didn't occur too often in the game. Like it was pretty rare that you would find, so that kind of made it really cool when you found one, because it was this really exciting feeling. Same with the mini mushrooms, and it opened up also the doors for a lot of like extra exploration and going into places in the level you couldn't get to before, especially with the mini mushroom. Yeah, and you're right, they just kind of threw all that away with the other ones.
It's just like, oh, you
stinks.
like these? Not in the future game. Add like this little thing that can make you float for a little bit. Or
Man, New Super Mario Bros. 2 is the worst one in my opinion though. Like it is so just
played it. I had no care for it whatsoever. Didn't even.
I played that game so much. I got 1 million coins. That was like the big thing. Can you get 1 million coins total? And I did. And the award, spoilers, but it's nothing special. The reward for that is like a trophy on the home screen, like a digital trophy. It doesn't give you any extra like levels or something cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so mad. Yeah, yeah. I could go on about New Super Mario Bros. Forever, but
yeah. Oh, I didn't even talk about Mario Maker 2. Wow. I was like,
yeah, what do you thought? It's on Mario Maker 2.
Oh, but actually, honestly, I never played the original Mario Maker because it came out in, I think, 2015, right? Back in 2015. And at that point, I was getting ready to move, and I had packed away all of my gaming stuff. And even to this day, a lot of it is still packed up. Like, I just unpacked my Wii U a few months ago. So I never got to play Mario Maker. So it'll be really interesting to play this new Mario Maker with these new added things. And I really hope that they add something. I mean, the Mario 3D World thing is nice, but I want them to add something unique. Like a unique art style that's not in any of the Mario Brothers. Like imagine if they had something cartoony, like kind of like a Paper Mario-esque aesthetic. It looks like it, but it plays like a regular Mario game. Just something different, something that like something new, like to really give new Super Mario Brothers an actual meaning nowadays, where it actually looks new. But that's all I gotta say about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see them doing like some kind of really cartoony, like something, I don't know, like Cuphead inspired maybe.
Yeah, like not sprite based, but actually like hand drawn kind of.
Yeah, that'd be so cool, and they could totally do it.
Yeah,
too, I think.
And then maybe announce, hey, in 2020 or late 2019, we're gonna come up with a new 2D Mario game that's completely refreshed, completely new.
Right, something completely different in terms of the art style and everything.
Exactly, it can't be like a new Super Mario Brothers because you can only use the word "new" so many times before it gets.
They've been using the word "new" since like what 2000. When did New Super Mario Bros. Come out?
2005, 2006, something like that.
Yeah, it's been over 10 years since they've been calling those games new. So
yeah, and it's like it would make sense if each game was really different than the last. But mine is taking out power-ups that were cool in the original game. It's like there's nothing new about it.
Yeah, and it's a little like it was kind of confusing. The fact that they called it New Super Mario Bros, but like the new was kind of like in terms of the logo itself, it was kind of just like thrown on there, just like new Super Mario Bros. Like it was kind of confusing too, because I heard a lot of people just call it Super Mario Bros. Because they didn't think the new was actually part of the title. That was confusing too. I didn't really. There's a lot of things about that franchise I just don't really understand. Yeah. So thank goodness they're kind of letting go of it. It seems like.
Yeah, and don't even get me started. I think this is a problem that Kingdom Hearts kind of falls into too. But don't even get me started with the fact that New Super Mario Bros. 2 was the third game in the series.
I know. Oh my gosh. Yes, it's like Kingdom Hearts 3. Yet I don't know how many games they've made, but they've made so many.
Like 20 at this point.
Yeah, that's hilarious. It's like they forgot New Super Mario Bros. Wii happened, or they were just trying to make it a sequel to the DS one, or maybe they just were treating Wii like it was the DS one, but just ported.
Wii like critically the most like because like there's like the multiplayer was cool back then, and it was like a big thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. So hopefully Mario Maker 2 is Gucci. Hopefully it's good.
Yeah. Oh, Lightning Quiz just seven just said Super Mario 63. Did you ever play that online?
No, I've never played it. It's like a Flash game, kind of?
Sort of, yeah, but it's like a full game. Someone created it, and it's Super Mario 64, but it's 2D. So they recreated all the Super Mario 64 levels, except it's like 2D side to side. It's really cool. And then they added FLUDD and like some sunshine mechanics and even levels maybe.
I haven't played it, but I've seen footage of it now. Yeah,
it was crazy. Yeah, it was like a full game. So that's a great point. Thank you for mentioning that.
I'm surprised Nintendo didn't shut that down. Right.
I know, yeah. Totally.
All right. Last of the games that are coming out, at least that we probably at least care about, is Link's Awakening Deluxe, I guess, for the Switch. What do you think of it in terms of, I guess, art style and just how it looks? And
Um, yeah, so I didn't play the first Link's Awakening like I mentioned. So for that reason, I'm excited to check it out. I was thrown off at first by the art style, like a lot. I was like, oh gosh, why are they doing, like there's so much potential in terms of the Switch's graphical power and in terms of the Zelda series as a whole, so many things they could kind of do with it that could be really cool. So I was thrown off at first, but thinking back, I'm okay with the art style. It just the only thing that kind of, yeah, I don't even know. My thoughts are very like crazy and conflicting about this game. I wish the game had the art style of the opening intro where he's on the boat.
yeah,
Like that art style would have been so cool for the game, but a ton of people are saying that, and like as I'm watching the trailer again and again, I'm starting to like be okay with the art style they went with. It's kind of like this toy esque, like playful kind of vibe that ever really works for Zelda. And you could make the argument that Wind Waker had a similar art style, but in my opinion, Wind Waker's art style was still more like grounded in the sense that you still like cared about the characters and it had like still like an epic kind of feel to it with Wind Waker. But this game looks like it's completely just kind of going to be lighthearted, just like little characters running around the world, and maybe that's not the case. I don't know. Maybe that's not what.
like little plastic toys. Like in my personal opinion, I think Wind Waker looks better.
I love Wind Waker. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like it just looks visually better. Like with how
Totally.
like Toon Link and like how it looks like an actual character. Whereas
yeah, he still has emotion and everything. It doesn't look like there's gonna be much emotion on Link here because his eyes are little black dots and like.
Yeah, it's like a little pop figure. They just kind of, or not even.
Yes, exactly.
Have him like walk around.
Yeah. I think the art style. I think it's really cute and nice. Like it's not bad in its own way. It's just for Zelda, I'm not completely sure if it works. I think they're gonna make it work though because they're Nintendo and like it'll be okay. But yeah, I'm not really digging it yet. But we'll see. I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I just think for like a Legend of Zelda title, after you come out with a banger of Breath of the Wild,
Mm-hmm.
and then just seeing this comparatively, it just like
It really throws you off.
yeah, and it's like I mean I'm happy that they're remaking an old Zelda. I just think Link's Awakening is a weird choice of a game. Like it's very niche.
True.
Like, I mean, I guess the second Zelda would have been a really weird, like, they're really out there, but
Yeah, Adventure of Link.
yeah,
That would have been crazy.
like the reaction to that would have been really weird. But yeah,
Mm.
I just don't feel it. Like, I'm just not captured by it. Like, you
Yeah.
look at games like for example, the reveal trailer of Luigi's Mansion 3. Like as much as I'm skeptical about it, I like the fact that at least you can see the emotion in Luigi. You can see how he can interact with the world, but it just looks like you're just moving a little Link across the field, like
Exactly. Yeah.
emotion in him.
Yeah. It just looks more like. Yeah, I don't know. It seems just more like a kind of pick up and go, play real quick. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a $60 game, basically.
Yeah.
I know they're going to charge it $60, and I know I'm probably going to buy it, but yeah. So we'll see. I'd love to see Nintendo remake one of their Nintendo 64 Zeldas, but I know like in HD. But they're not
your video the other day.
Like my video the other day. But I know they're not going to do it because one, those games are already on the 3DS. Two, they're gonna have to like remake the engine, I assume, from the ground up and everything. Probably, just because it's so probably old and dated by now, and also just I can't see it for some reason, just because it's probably be such a project, such a big thing to take on, and by that point, they'd probably just make a completely new Zelda. So,
yeah. But the thing is, they have companies like Grezzo who remade the Zelda games for the 3DS and remade Luigi's Mansion for the 3DS. They are capable of remaking games. Just give the task to them and just like let them do it, not have to worry about it. Like awesome. They do really with the Legend of Zelda games and Luigi's Mansion, they did a good job for like the
They
hard.
did, yeah.
So like if they got like let's say Majora's Mask, which is
Oh,
I like it more than Ocarina personally,
oh
but
really?
yeah, to each of their own. But
Mhm.
they redid like Majora's Mask for the Switch. That would sell like
Yeah.
hotcakes. And Ocarina more,
Yes,
but like it would
I know.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep. Even just port those games to the Switch. Like, don't even remake them in HD if that's gonna be so hard for you. Just like put Nintendo 64 games on the Switch. It'd be so
Yeah.
great.
Okay.
And
Yeah. Let me just add
GameCube.
this in here, because it's not on the list. But screw it, we're gonna talk about
That's
it.
never gonna happen.
Why the hell is Nintendo only
Yeah.
putting NES games on the Switch?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Like so
Nintendo
much
has.
opportunity, especially with GameCube and N64.
I
You can
know.
do it.
The
Do it.
GameCube and Nintendo 64. So I made a video about the GameCube like a while back, but looking back, it applies to the Nintendo 64. Basically, what I said is the Nintendo 64 and the GameCube are in this weird situation where like their graphics and everything are like high enough to where they couldn't make like a mini classic edition for them. In my opinion, I don't think they could really do it and pack so many games into them because the games are so big and expansive on those consoles. But they're also like not, so they won't be released in that way, but they also can't be released on via like a virtual console because Nintendo said they're not going to have a virtual console for the Switch. So it's like they're just kind of out there, like, and the only way you can really play those games is if you have those original consoles or if you download them online with like a ROM and an emulator. So it really stinks because there's such a great library of games for the Nintendo 64 in the game. I mean, they have ported like some of them, to the 3DS and Switch, like, I mean, and Wii U, like we have Wind Waker HD, we have Luigi's Mansion 3DS. So there are GameCube games that are being supported in a sense, but I still don't feel like that whole library is being used to its best potential.
Yeah.
There's so many great games on those systems.
Yeah, and the Wii U, it wasn't, a fully portable console. And you can argue, yeah, the 3DS is, but the games aren't optimal on the 3DS. Like, for example,
Yeah.
Luigi's Mansion, that game was designed with 2 thumbsticks in mind. That's literally why it was designed the way it was.
Exactly.
GameCube was to show off the second thumbstick. That was time for
Nintendo. And it was designed to show off the graphical capabilities of the GameCube too.
Exactly.
So why release it on your inferior console, the 3DS? Yeah.
So much wrong with it. Like, it still looks good on the 3DS, but
it really does. Yeah.
But the Switch would have looked so much better.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, next point.
Yep.
All right. So this one's kind of a twofer. This one's just kind of like a thing that I personally just wanted to add in because it also kind of goes along with my channel.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on Super Mario Party?
Okay. Let's see. Super Mario Party. Well, this silence probably just gives away all my thoughts already. I mean, the game, like, it's okay. No, I'm just gonna like take a strong stance. Honestly, I don't like Super Mario Party very much. I could figure out a way to convince myself that it's a good game, but honestly, like, there's so many things that from a design perspective are bad about that game, but also just from a personal perspective, I don't really like. Just to get the big things out of the way, I guess, it's really lacking in content. There are like 4 maps. Maybe there are 6, I don't know, but there are 4 to begin with. And you could say that they're focusing on quality of the maps. Like, they're not that good. And personally, I'm not a big fan of the tile-based format also. Like, you move from tile to tile, and the map is like one big square built up of little tiles because it takes away the exploration. It takes away the adventure. It just... It feels like you're just playing a big board game on the TV, which I guess kind of is the bulk of the gameplay. That is kind of what it is, but still.
But it's less about playing a generic board game, but playing like on a board that's like maybe less so with like the first the N64 games. But like what's your favorite Mario Party?
This is pretty controversial. Controversial, but Mario Party 8 is actually my favorite.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
I know.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Even with Mario Party 8, and my personal favorite's Mario Party 6.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but with both of those games, the boards, they didn't just feel like generic like game boards. They felt like an actual environment. Like in Mario Party 8, there was the Koopa's town, which was like a like a town, and then there was the mansion,
Yes,
King Boo's haunted whatever, it's like a mansion.
totally.
In Mario Party 6, there was Towering Treetops, which was a giant tree that you climbed
Hmm.
up. But Super Mario Party, it's like you had Whomp's whatever, and it's just like
Yeah,
stone slab that was like a grid. It was like,
yeah, and like you. That's the way Mario Party 10 and I think Mario Party 9 were also. They kind of like gave it the New Super Mario Bros. Treatment in a sense, just like kind of giving it the generic like world designs. Like there's the lava board and there's the
lava,
desert one.
ice,
There's the
tropical,
water one.
jungle. Yep.
Exactly. And so like part of my hope for Super Mario Party, because they were supposedly changing it up so much and bringing it back to the way it used to be, was that they were going to give it unique and fun creative boards. And like Whomp's Fortress or whatever it's called, it's not called Whomp's Fortress, but like it's a step in the right direction because it
Or
I know exactly. It's a step in the right direction because it's not just grass theme, but still it just felt a little lacking in terms of just the variety and the uniqueness of it. Yeah, that game just it felt like I mean, I played it for probably 2 hours total. I barely touched it just because like first off, I don't have a whole lot of friends to play Mario Party with, and I don't feel this
me.
need to I don't yeah, I don't have this need to like play mini games online with random people.
Yeah, and even
Um,
though, like you said, minigame, like you could play 10 online, so it's like
yeah, exactly. And like I guess what I said about playing Mario Party like with friends is untrue because like I have people I could play with, but I'd rather play like a game that's just fun and like fast paced, like Smash Ultimate or Mario Kart with friends. And so I don't know. Super Mario Party kind of lost the charm that Mario Party used to have. Like they made it. Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
the
know.
only thing about Super Mario Party that I can say is great is the character roster. That's the only thing that I really think it has going for it.
Yeah, it's true.
And even with the character roster, it's like they took out Toad, they took out Toadette. Okay, this one pisses me off. You're gonna think I'm weird for this one. But freaking Birdo. I love Birdo. I don't care what anyone says. Great character. And Birdo
Yeah.
in the game as like an NPC that you can talk to. And then Birdo literally says, I remember the days when I was in Mario Party. And I was like,
Oh my gosh.
freaking out. I'm like, you just said this, and they're not gonna put you in. Ooh,
That is the ultimate troll.
that was
Jeez.
horrible. I hate it. Literally, Birdo's only purpose is like you play this quiz game and you can unlock like
Yeah.
what do you do? Stickers? Yeah.
Ugh.
What is this? Paper Mario sticker star? Like
Yeah, exactly.
oh,
Mm.
see, DJ Squirtle, Birdo from Mario Party. Yeah. See, I'm
Yeah.
Birdo love in the chat. See, Birdo, great character. No clue.
Birdo's awesome.
Yeah, male, female, no one knows.
No one knows.
No
No
one.
one cares. Like it doesn't matter. It's just Birdo.
Just Birdo.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, and
It's just-
I could talk for a while about about Super Mario Party, but yeah, I guess we pretty much covered most of it.
yeah, the one thing I also want to talk about with Super Mario Party is so there is the main Mario Party mode, which we all know what that is, but then there's
Mhm.
like partner party mode, which is where the grid thing comes in, and it feels like that's why the boards have that grid look because they
Yeah,
took
yeah,
the
yeah.
partner party and just like we're like, hey, let's throw some spaces on it and
Yeah,
make
they
that
were like they need to be tile based or grid based because it needs to work with this other mode. It's like,
yeah.
why did you just ruin the whole game to have one stupid mode that no one even probably really played?
Exactly. Like, why, if you want some sort of partner mode, why not do what the old games did and just offer a partner option?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's enough about Super Mario Party. Let's move
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Disappointed. Actually, no, we're not done with Super Mario Party because this next point here.
No, right.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier, privately, but what what's your opinion on the release an unfinished product and then finish it later approach that is literally hurting their games, aka
Yeah,
Super Mario Party, Mario Tennis Aces, Splatoon 2, and Kirby. Those are the ones that I've noticed.
yeah, totally. We were talking about this on Discord yesterday. Yeah, I call it the finish it later approach, which is basically what you just said. Release an unfinished product and then finish it later. Nintendo has been doing this weird thing recently, and I don't know, maybe other game companies are doing it too. I'm not sure. But where they'll release a game that's very obviously unfinished, and then at full price, and then make DLC later on to like actually finish the game and make it better. as opposed to releasing a completely finished, awesome game and then just releasing DLC later that just like makes the game even more awesome, but isn't trying to fix the game. So basically they're just not finishing their games before releasing them and then finishing them later as DLC. Mario Tennis Aces is a good example. Like that game, actually no, it's an okay example, but Splatoon 2 is a better example because that game started with however many maps. I don't know,
like
not enough.
knowing it.
Yeah, there were like 4 maps. But they treated it like a full release, which is fine. Like whatever. And then they slowly, like really slowly over time, released more and more maps, finally making the game reach a point where it was actually like at a level relatively reasonable with other games in its genre, that to where like it was at the point where it actually should have been released. So that's, yeah, the finish it later approach just makes me very frustrated. And then Mario Tennis Aces, they did it too. And it's Kirby. I guess I didn't play Kirby, but they probably did it there too. And like, it's a big difference, you know, because games that they didn't do it, Super Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, like it's very clear those games are finished products. They are awesome. They are amazing. And everyone loves those games. But you don't hear many people talk about Mario Tennis Aces and Super Mario Party. And that's because Nintendo, before they were done with them and expected us to, and they released the game, like finished the game later on, expecting for that to be the reason for us to like keep playing those games as time went on after their release. But by that point, you just kind of lose interest. And so, yeah, that makes me mad.
I did a live stream a couple weeks ago, and I picked up my Switch. I was like, you know, I'd recently gotten the GameCube style like Pro controller, freaking awesome controller by the way, and
Very nice.
And I was like, you know, I'll play some Mario Tennis. And it's been so long. I had to update the game, and I got 4 new characters. So I'm like, that means it's been 4 months since I've even touched this game. Like that.
Yeah.
You know, new characters aren't enough to just like watch it. Like if they did like new courts or anything, or if they fixed that freaking single player mode, it'd be one thing. But
yeah,
it's not enough. I can go on for ages about how
right.
Mario Tennis Aces single player mode is. Like I can. That's
Yeah, I know. We like you buy a game expecting to have a finished product to play and enjoy, not expecting for it to be a 6-month commitment, you know, to like wait for the rest of the game to be released. You know, you buy a game, you want to play the game. The one thing I'll say that's good about this approach that Nintendo does is usually they don't make the DLC later on paid DLC. You know, it's just like, it's not like you buy Splatoon 2, you get 4 maps, and then you have to pay an additional like $12 to get like another pack of maps. Like it is free, so that's good. But that almost makes me more mad because it's like, if you have all that available and you are going to charge us for it as time goes on, just release it when the game comes out.
Yeah, or even delay the game. Like I don't get like all like everything. It's like, what's the point in like releasing it early and then just making more content that will be released later?
Yeah.
Especially with Splatoon 2, where you can only play 2 maps at a time, and it alternates every like 3 or 4 hours, whatever it is. So you might not even see any other maps anyways.
Oh. Yeah, it's true. That's still a terrible design approach, in my opinion. The whole like Splatoon alternating maps thing. I don't know why they ever did that.
Why this? Like they should do like the Mario Kart 8 thing, where you can the thing, and it just like it goes through like a roulette.
Yeah, totally.
And don't even get me started on freaking Salmon Run. I love that mode.
Yeah.
We played at certain times.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Like one time, I think it was like for my time zone, it was available from 2:00 in the morning to 2:00 in the afternoon. And I was like, how the hell am I gonna play that at that time? Like, no.
Exactly. It's like I gotta go to school or whatever.
I have
like
a life, you know. Like I can't.
Yeah.
Like it's so. God.
Yep.
Yeah, it really sucks. Like it's one thing if like the game is at least mostly complete and they just give like a little supplemental free DLC.
Yeah, exactly.
But with Nintendo, it's not that. Like Super Mario Party, we haven't heard anything like new for it.
Yeah, they haven't even released like DLC for that game. Like it seemed like you assumed they would because the game is obviously incomplete, but they haven't. So like they just kind of gave up on it, I guess.
Yeah, like 4 boards, no, not cutting it. So it's like they gotta do something, you know. And Mario Tennis Aces, Yeah, the courses are kind of cool, but like, have you ever played
Yeah.
Mario on the GameCube?
Yes.
And how awesome! Like there was the Mario Sunshine Court.
Yes.
Well, I think
And like Mario Power Tennis.
yeah,
So good.
they're so
Those
good, and they
games
were
are
so
great.
like with the Mario Sunshine one, right? Like there was like those panels that moved, and it was right above the water where the blue
Mm-hmm.
and Luigi's Mansion Court, the ghosts came onto the court. It's like
Yes.
those kind of courts are fun, not
Mm-hmm.
not like the generic courts, the generic haunted,
Yeah.
the generic ice court, the generic jungle court, like generic death.
Yeah, the courts in Mario Tennis Aces were pretty generic. But
Yeah,
I
they
think
weren't that
like it was okay.
just bland generic, just like
Yeah. They were better though, I think. Like they could have been more generic. I
yeah,
do
they could
think
have
they
been
were
worse,
creative in a
but
lot of
it could have been
ways.
so much better.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next. Oh, did you drop something?
No, so I was setting my Snapple bottle
Oh, okay,
down.
I thought you completely just dropped it. Like
It probably sounded really loud because my mic is on the table too. Let's see. Is this let's see.
this one's the one that you
This
actually
one?
suggested. Yep, that one.
Cool. Yeah, so I suggested this topic just because I think it'd be fun to talk about, and that is discussing Nintendo IPs and franchises that we think they should bring back. Ones that either haven't had games made in a long time or have like shifted away from what they used to be. So, what Nintendo series could they bring back and make great again? So, this one, what do you think?
Oh, I have multiple answers.
Yeah, you can say as many as you want. It doesn't matter.
Oh my lord. Okay. So I'll say the one that I've already talked to you about, WarioWare. Like that I remember when I was younger, I had a couple friends that used to come over, and that was our go-to game, WarioWare for the GameCube. That game,
Yes.
so the multiplayer mode, oh my god, there's so much to do. And with how the Switch is, with the Joy-Cons, you can just take off and hand to someone. It works so well with a game like WarioWare. Like WarioWare is a game. It's definitely a pick up and play game. You can play a few little short micro games, whatever. Like with Mario Party, where it's like they force you to use the Joy Cons. Mario Party is a game that you sit there and play for a little while. But Wario,
Yeah, true.
it would work so well with the Switch, and it would work so well. I just wish they would bring that series back and not release it for the freaking 3D. But yeah. So
Bring
Wario
it to the Switch. The Switch needs it.
Yeah,
It's perfect for it.
It can't be that hard. It's not like a graphically intense game or anything like that. It's WarioWare, it's cartoon, whatever.
Yeah.
So WarioWare is one. I guess I'll kind of throw this one in. Luigi's Mansion, in terms of like making it more like the first one.
Yeah.
Said. I got two more. Except my last one I think might be on your list, so I'll save that one for you. But
okay.
The last one I'll touch on is Chibi Robo.
Nice.
That game was amazing on the GameCube, and
Chibi-Robo.
was destroyed on the 3DS. Utterly destroyed with that
Ziplash
game, which was okay, but then they had Ziplash, which is awful.
Yeah, they just turned it into a generic 2D platformer. Like.
Yeah, the only good thing that came of it was the amiibo.
Yeah, that amiibo was awesome. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I gotta say. Just bring Chibi Robo back to how he was on the GameCube. Basically,
open world and everything.
Then you're good. Right?
Yep. Cool. Well, I'll go next. I need to think through because I'll have multiple as well. I'll start with a pretty big one, I think. Well, a couple years ago, I would have said 3D Mario games. Thank goodness they released Odyssey back to the 64 in Sunshine style. I love it. So I'll say the one I'll say is first is Paper Mario.
That's the one. That's the one I held off because
I knew. Yeah, I knew it because I mentioned it on Discord yesterday. Yeah, I love Paper Mario for 64, and then I love the Thousand Year Door even more. I was actually a pretty big fan of Super Paper Mario, to be honest, because a lot of people didn't, and I did. So I actually really like that one. Sticker Star, it kind of had like the Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon thing for me, where like it was an okay game, as a whole, but it wasn't a good Paper Mario game. Like how Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon was a good game, but in my opinion, it wasn't a good Luigi's Mansion game. And then Color Swap happened, and like that was better all structure. So just bring it back to the way it was in Thousand Year Door, and I'll be happy, and a lot of people will be happy because that's what a lot of fans want. So that's one. What else? Star Fox, sort of. I mean, we had Star Fox Zero on the Wii U, and then I think Lightning Quest 7 mentioned a second ago. Yeah, it was in Starlink, which is pretty neat. But still, a classic Star Fox game would be awesome. F-Zero, be so cool. But we sort of have F-Zero, like, in a way, in terms of the gameplay with fast racing,
Fast
RMX, yeah, for the Switch.
Yeah, I was like, have you played?
So that's not a huge priority. I would say Animal Crossing, but that's coming. Same with Luigi's Mansion, like you said. Yeah, exactly. What else? Gosh, I know I'm gonna think of something. Okay, let's think.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I'd like to see them make another Double Dash, whether that's like a remake or just kind of like, even if it's just a mode in another Mario Kart game, like, because it was so fun and great. And also, like, I think it'd be perfect for the Joy-Cons for the Switch too. Like, you plop your Joy-Cons off and then you race together. It'd be very neat. What else are people saying? Yeah, I guess that pretty much covers it. I think, the Mario sports games.
Oh my God,
I think
Tony, Mario Baseball.
Yes, Mario Baseball. Strikers too, actually. But Super Sluggers for the Wii, I loved, and then the GameCube one, Superstar Baseball, was great too. Yes, Mario Baseball, bring it back. Bring back that classic.
I think we're gonna hear about a Mario Baseball game. I think we're like,
really.
I did a 2019 predictions video, and I predicted that we would see a Mario sports game for June, which obviously we are because Mario Maker. But I'm still holding out for Mario Baseball.
I can see it. Yeah,
it wouldn't be golf because Camelot, they did Mario Tennis and they're still doing that. So whatever. And then Mario Strikers is made by Next Level Games, who's working on presumably expansion. So I'm like, it's gotta be baseball.
Yeah,
logic, brain working.
True. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's it for mine. I think a new like Wave Race would be cool. Was that even like Nintendo? I mean, that was like a while back.
It's like, I think the last one was on the GameCube. I think it was Nintendo. I just don't think so many people always say, "Oh my God, Wave Race, we want it." It's like, I don't think it would do that well. Like,
no, it wouldn't. I don't think it would do very well. And like, it's not. It's like on the bottom of the list in terms of like what Nintendo should bring back logistically, like in terms from like a.
Yeah, it's like Paper Mario, Star Fox, and then Wave Race. It's like,
yeah, you don't get a lot of people who've heard about Wave Race. This is Wave Race, at least compared to like Paper Mario. So, but that'd be cool. That's a nice personal one.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think back on the game because the GameCube had so many like there's one that I don't even know. We didn't even. I don't think we've even mentioned it that everyone's wanting. Freaking Pikmin.
Oh my gosh. I mentioned Pikmin 4 like a couple times earlier. It's so funny and so weird because maybe 2016 Miyamoto was like, "Hey, yeah, Pikmin 4, it's basically finished. We're going to release it, at some point." But it's been like 3 or 4 years and we've heard nothing, and it's so weird. It's like what we were talking about earlier, the classic Nintendo approach of just like saying a game is coming and then like not saying anything about it for a long time.
Yeah, and but isn't there a whole thing where people are wondering if Hey Pikmin was that game? The Pikmin game that came out for the 3DS that turned Pikmin into a typical 2D platformer.
It better not have. Yeah. Yeah, there was a phase for a while where Nintendo was kind of turning like all their franchises into 2D platformers. It was really weird. But yeah, they're out of that phase now. Someone else just said something and it made me really happy. Kirby Air Ride. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. And then Pilot Wings would be awesome too.
I like Pilot Wings. It was one of those rage games for me back when I first played.
Really?
I did a video on it. I don't know if I still have it, but like it was literally I raged while playing Pilot Wings. It's like Pilot Wings supposed to be one of those relaxing games, and I was like swearing at my TV like, "Oh come on!" Like,
oh my God. Yeah, that's great. Hey guys, here's the thing we're making.
Got it. Hey guys, the thing we're making. Will you see it? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just reading that. It's hilarious. Yeah.
That's Nintendo for you in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think that's really it in terms of Nintendo's IPs. So this is the last topic. So Rail Mango, go through the chat and gather all the questions that we can.
Yeah.
So this is our last main point here.
Thank you very much for doing that.
Yeah, thanks, Rail Mango. Good friend of mine. So Nintendo in terms of their old games. Actually, this is actually it kind of does relate a bit with the last point. But what
Mhm.
do you think that Nintendo should remake? And I'm not just talking about porting. I mean just like remaking and like upgrading to today's modern gaming standard.
Mm. Like any game
Any
from
game,
the past from Nintendo.
not Nintendo, of course, but I mean
Oh,
it's not Nintendo, but just remade, redone. Hell, maybe even like restructured in a way, just so it doesn't
yeah.
work with today's Nintendo console.
Oh my gosh. My selfish answer, just like my really personal answer, would be Super Mario Sunshine
Oh,
because I love that game so much.
that's a guilty pleasure right there.
That's a guilty pleasure right there. Exactly. Yeah, that's why I said it's the selfish option. Mario Sunshine, like I can still look back at that game and honestly like think the graphics are really good. But like that game ported to or put on like remade for the Switch in full HD. Mm, yes. Did someone just say Chris Mario Sunshine? He might have said that before I
Yes,
said
yes,
it.
it was at Mario
Um,
Sunshine. Yeah.
yeah, because he knew. Yes, glorious HD. That would be
Oh my
beautiful.
god.
Like I was talking about earlier, the N64 Zeldas also. Wow, I don't know what else. There's so much. Yeah, honestly, just give me Sunday and I'll be so happy.
That's how I feel about Luigi's Mansion, man. Just completely redo that.
Yeah, yeah. I would say Luigi's Mansion HD, but just I think it's just completely like out of the picture in my head just because of Luigi's Mansion 3 coming out and
I
then
mean,
3DS.
if they even just did a little thing, like I would be personally happy if in Luigi's Mansion 3, if you like 100%, like you get like in the first game, if you got a certain amount of treasure, you got a certain ranking. If you got like
Mhm.
above a certain amount of treasure, if you unlock this extra mode where you got to play through the original mansion just with,
Yeah,
that would be cool to me. That's all I would want at least. But yeah, just we, God damn.
I know.
But another game, I don't know. This probably would have scared the holy crap out of you when you were a kid. So I'm not even gonna really bother asking for this as a kid. But have you ever heard of the game Eternal Darkness?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Never played it.
It's a great game. I don't know how much you know
Yeah,
about it, but it's like this. It's a survival horror game.
zilch.
But
Mhm.
instead of, I mean, you have a health bar, but you also have a sanity meter. And when the sanity meter runs low, the game will start to mess with you. Like, for example, if your sanity meter runs out, there could be a message saying that your controller unplugged and your controller won't work. So you get like, so you're confused if your controller is actually unplugged, and or the
Yeah.
screen will start flickering. It'll turn off, like it'll mute. Like they'll see like a little thing on the bottom that says mute, and it just it
Whoa.
messes with you. It's really
That's really cool.
it is really cool.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to give that a shot.
Like to see that remade and have some new things added to it, like to up
Yeah.
it. Because the game was made in like probably 2003, 2004. Like
Mhm.
for example, when like the mute bar comes up, it's like on like how you would see on like one of those old like CRT TVs where it's like
Yeah.
so if they update, oh,
So cool. That'd be awesome.
Eternal Dark. Yeah, see the story said he'd be scared of that. Oh my god, Eternal. Oh.
Yeah.
Anything else come to mind with you?
For games to be remade?
Yeah. Well,
I guess
what about Ocarina of Time since you just played that the other day on your channel?
yeah, yeah. The Nintendo 64 Zeldas I think would be cool, especially Ocarina of Time, just because that's such a it's so near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, and like,
Um,
Ocarina of Time, it's like it's so popular, it would sell so
it would
well.
sell. Yes, exactly. That would be amazing. Just like because I made a video just it was like yesterday or maybe 2 days ago, where I played like an Unreal Engine recreation of Ocarina of Time, like in full HD, and it's so beautiful and amazing. They added all these lighting like effects, so good. That would be awesome. Um,
Yeah. And like I told you I think I told you the other day that like I said, they did the same thing with Mario Sunshine and
yeah, I really want to check those out.
you gotta. Like I haven't
Yeah.
personally played them, but I've watched people like and
Hmm.
the Mario Sunshine one specifically, like the Luigi's Mansion one is literally just the outside of the mansion. It looks great, but it's just the
Oh, okay.
outside. But the Mario Sunshine one is like the main hub of Isle Delfino. It looks great.
That's so cool. So cool. I'm gonna check that out for sure.
Uh, all right. I think. Oh, wait, hold on. My friend Yese just commented about a game from the N64. Have you ever played Glover?
No, I haven't.
It's an underrated freaking gem. I love that.
Really?
You basically play as like a Mickey Mouse kind of glove, and he like walks on like his 2 fingers, and like
Mhm.
you have like a ball, and you like roll it. Oh, underrated gem.
Is it like a 3D
It
kind of
is a
platformer?
3D platformer, but
Mhm.
because of how the game is, it doesn't control like it's really weird, but
Mm.
it's speaking of 3D platformers, have you ever played Banjo-Kazooie?
Oh, yes.
Oh, if Microsoft could like
Dude,
lend Nintendo
if
that
Microsoft and Nintendo, like, became best buddies and Banjo got in Smash, that would be, like, the best thing ever.
Banjo and Smash, I'll get the pass. I don't care who the other 4 people are.
Yeah, yeah, who cares about, like, Joker or whatever? I'm going for Banjo. I'm going all in.
Yeah, on like whenever I do a live stream, we do always get into the discussion of the Smash DLC characters, and a
Mhm.
few of the people who watch my content who comment say, "Oh, I want Steve over Banjo." I'm like, well, like Steve from
Really?
Minecraft, I should say, and I'm
Yeah, I guess he has Microsoft also.
yeah, and I'm just like, why? Like, I know Steve is like guess more iconic because Minecraft is like technically like a bigger game, whatever, but
Yeah.
Banjo is so like he's known from being like a Nintendo classic character that even
Yeah.
Microsoft owns him. It's like his fame was on Nintendo. He's not going anywhere on Xbox. So
Yeah. Yeah, and then just having Steve, just kind of imagining Steve from Minecraft, just like I can't really picture. I can actually picture it really well, but at the same time, I can't picture it just because, like, I don't know. I still personally think of Minecraft as a PC game. I know it's like on pretty much all the consoles, but like I just imagine that it just doesn't. I can't see it fitting. But Banjo, just I can totally see it. So yeah.
and just like great game. Um, Right. We're gonna move on to the questions. Who thankfully Rail
Cool.
Mango has sent quite a few questions to me. It looks like we have about 8. If you
All
guys have
right.
questions, comment them below, and my friend will send them to me, and we'll get to them. So, question 1. Lightning Quiz 7 asks, do you wait? Do you? Oh, do you think it's worded a little bit weird, so I'll try my best here. Do you think I'm presumably going to ask? Do you? Oh, geez. I'll read it exactly as it is, and we'll kind of interpret it. So he asked, "Do you think that Nintendo reached their sales goal by selling 20 million copies of the Switch?" I think they're talking about Nintendo
Okay. Yeah.
goal of like selling 20 million Switches.
Like, just like, do you think it was like a successful, basically,
Yeah.
milestone?
Yeah, like, dude, like, I think he's asking
Lightning Quiz 7. No,
yeah.
sorry.
So,
Um,
I think they're asking, like, do you think that they'll 'cause like I said, I think they had a goal of selling they're kind of blurry there, jeez. They had a goal of selling 20 million Switches this fiscal year, and
mhm.
they were, like, kind of close, but I don't know if they're actually gonna hit that 20 million goal, so
Okay.
asking, are they going to do it or if they're, like, successful at all.
Mm.
Um Even if they don't though, like 20 million is a decent like they're almost at the Xbox One in terms of overall sales. Like that's pretty good. Like
Yeah.
years to be almost where Xbox One is after 6 years.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about what their goal was or really where they are now, but from what I can tell, the Switch has been super successful and is continuing to be, and like I see people walking down the street with Switches. And like that's never happened before. Even like with the 3DS that sold like or whatever, maybe even more. Like it seems like just such a common, like a popular topic right now, the Switch, because you always see people playing them, and it's just so exciting. It's continuing to grow. So yeah, I mean, regardless of if they actually met their goal or not, I think it's super successful and they're on the right track for sure.
Yeah, like on my way to England, like on my flight, I noticed a lot like a few people like at the airport and
Yeah,
on the plane, they were playing their Switches and they were
the
playing
coolest feeling. Like when you see someone playing the Switch, it's like, oh yes,
yeah, it makes you want to go, "Hey, you want to play around a Mario Kart?" Like,
yeah, totally.
yeah, so even if they don't hit that 20 million mark, I think they still had a successful year. As much as I kind of loathe Nintendo's 2018, I think
Hmm.
they still did a good job in terms of selling consoles and
Yeah,
doing what Nintendo does.
yeah. Big Boss made a good point too. They've already surpassed the Wii U, and that's a huge deal. You
Yeah, they
know?
surpassed the Wii U, they surpassed the GameCube. They
Yeah.
I think they're close to surpassing the Nintendo 64. So it's like
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
crazy. All right, next question. This one's an interesting one. From Sean Leah. Do you know when we are going to Nintendo Direct?
Oh, when we'll have our next direct?
That's an interesting when we'll have it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, because I think we will get something before E3. I mean, we have to. If Mario Maker's coming
Yeah.
out in June, they're not going to wait until June to tell us more.
Yeah. So when is E3 again? Is it June or July?
June, like, yeah, it's probably usually June, or it always lands on the weekend of my birthday. So June 15th is my birthday. So it'll probably be like
Oh,
14th.
yeah, it's like the same as my sister's birthday too. It's right around there. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, I think we're gonna get a direct. Either I think we're gonna get a May direct. That's my prediction. Kind of setting up E3. And if we don't get any direct at all, I think we still are gonna get a Super Mario Maker 2 direct. At some point, probably also in May, kind of close to the launch of that game. So that's my prediction.
Yeah, I feel you on that. My prediction is like late April, but it's
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
yeah. I just think because like because usually at least last year Nintendo did a direct in January and then a direct in March. So I'm just kind of like, oh, if they're gonna do one in February, then they'll probably do another one in April.
Mhm.
It's Nintendo, you never know.
Yeah, exactly.
This next question actually comes from my moderator, Rail Mango.
Cool.
Oh, excuse me. He says, Scalebound was previously a planned Xbox exclusive that was canceled. It was a third-party RPG where you had a dragon companion you can command. It's been rumored by an insider 2 weeks ago that the game is being revived as a Switch title. What are your thoughts?
Cool.
Yeah, I personally don't know much about Scalebound. I heard that it was like a canceled Xbox One project from like
Mhm.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's cool that like third parties are like really coming to the Switch. Like
Yeah.
they're wanting to release their games on the Switch, which to me, like I'm fine with the ports that we're getting. Like, you know, like you said earlier, we were talking about the bit block and how
Yeah.
like so tired of the ports. I'm tired of the Wii U ports, but every other port that we're getting, like the Final Fantasy games, the Resident Evil games,
Yeah.
come along. Like, you know,
Totally. It's
well,
just more third-party support, and it's great.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the
Or
more
just
they sell, the
support in
more
general.
the companies like for example, now we're getting Mortal Kombat 11, um,
Yeah.
day and day for when it's coming out on the other consoles. Same with
Mhm.
shoot, what was the other game I was thinking of? Mortal Kombat 11 and I can't think of the other one, but there's
Yeah.
another one. I just don't know what it is. But
Mhm.
yeah, just
Mhm.
getting those
And we
games,
got Skyrim too.
Skyrim, Doom Eternal. That's what I was thinking of. Doom Eternal.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
getting that day and day, and it's just like it. It just it's good, you know, to get that.
Yeah.
Especially the Wii U that lacked it. I mean, we got like the
Totally.
first year, whatever, but
Yeah, and like the Wii U's game library, like from a first party perspective, is kind of underrated because there are some really great games on there.
yeah,
Nintendo games, but it just they completely got lost in the console design itself, which, you know, it wasn't that great, and then the lack of third party content. So unfortunately, there were a lot of people who just weren't able to play those games, and that's part of why they're porting those great Wii U games, which makes sense. My prediction for that is that I think the next Wii U game they're going to port is Mario 3D World, and I think after that it's kind of going to die down. I
yeah.
don't
A
think.
lot of people are talking about Pikmin 3 as well.
Oh, that's true. It depends on the Pikmin 4 situation. I honestly have no idea what's up with that game.
Yeah. Honestly, if they do something with Pikmin, like for me to be okay with it, I think they would have to do the first two games as well. They would have to add
Oh
something
yeah,
to it to like because it would just be another Wii U port then. If they included the first two Pikmin games as well and had a
hmm
trilogy, then yeah. But I feel like if it was just Pikmin, it's just kind of
yeah. Same way with like the Metroid Prime trilogy. You know, like I hope they release all three of those as
yeah,
opposed to just
they
like
better. That
yeah,
would
they
be
better.
horrible if they only released the third game. I mean, they already have Metroid Prime trilogy. That's already
Yeah,
so just like
yeah,
do.
exactly.
Oh my laptop really fell. Um, all
Yeah.
right. I guess we'll move on. Lightning Quiz 7 asked, how do we both like the World of Light mode in Smash Ultimate?
Uh, um, I I like it. I don't love it, and honestly, I haven't played it much, just because the fact that it's built. Okay, I've talked about this some. I'm not the biggest Smash Bros. Fan, especially like compared to a lot of the people who watch these media and just people in general. And I honestly don't play Smash Bros. For the gameplay. I'm not a huge fan of like fighting style games, that sort of thing. I just play it for the characters, and for that reason, I love Smash Bros. So the fact that the story mode is kind of just built around the standard Smash Bros. Gameplay of just battling, versus the Subspace Emissary, which was kind of a platformer.
Love
Yeah, it was great. I'm kind of like I'm not super into it just because it's basically just an extension of the game itself, which is at the bulk of it or at the base of it, just fighting each other, which is great. But I'd rather just do that, being able to play as whatever character I want and being able to play with friends and that sort of thing, than doing it in the story mode. But I still think it's cool they have it. I still think it's cool. It's better than like nothing at all. And I don't think they needed to make a whole Subspace Emissary type thing. Like I think this was the right choice. It's just personally I'm not that into it.
Yeah, I think that they're on the right path with it. I think just something they
Mm-hmm.
needed to do more was just like because the whole thing about like the each character kind of being like possessed or whatever it is, I think that's cool. But I think
Yeah.
it had like cutscenes, like more cutscenes, like CG cutscenes where like it kind of showed each character maybe being rescued
Mm-hmm.
after you fight them, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that would have added a lot more. And I
Totally.
think if they, I don't want to say made, like, because there's so many matches in World of Light that are kind of filler. Like, like you can unlock the characters, yes, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of other character or fights that are just used to get the spirits.
Yeah.
So I think if they had more of the actual character fights and made them more impactful, then it wouldn't just feel like just another fight. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I agree.
Okay. Next up, Lightning Quiz 7 asks, have either of you played Starlink? And if so, what are your opinions on it? I'll just say that I haven't played it, so I don't know.
Um, yeah, I haven't played it either. I do have it though. I've just been waiting a little while to really give it a go because it's one of those games I really want to. When I play it, I really want to like invest a lot of time into it because I think it's going to be great. I'm really excited about it. So I've owned it for a little while, but yeah, I'm getting ready for a time like to really sit down and play it.
And out of curiosity, are you going to play the main story mode or are you going to play the Star Fox mode?
Oh, probably just the Star Fox one. I mean, I don't really know how it works, like if the Star Fox one is a separate thing or if it's part of it, but if I can, I'm probably just going to do Star Fox right away.
I think it is. And they announced that the last, I think it was in the last direct, there's going to be like an update where there's more
Ooh,
Star Fox stuff being put in.
sweet.
So, hey,
Awesome.
happy birthday to you then.
Thank you.
um, Let's see here. Next up, my good buddy Yese Asha, love the man. He asks, ooh, Breath of the Wild, is it the best Zelda game of all time? That's more your avenue.
Uh, I think Breath of the Wild is the best game that is also a Zelda game. If that makes sense. Like, I think from a pure design perspective, it is the best game just because, like, there are barely any flaws, like it's just the openness and everything about it is so cool. And I guess the one thing that people were really complaining about is the dungeons. And I kind of agree they weren't like as intricate and unique as other Zelda dungeons in the past have been. But so I think like it's the best in terms of like the game structure and quality. It is the best that the Zelda franchise I think has had. But if you're looking for like the Zelda experience, I don't think it's the best because it more focuses on like subtle references to Zelda past and then like embracing it, like there's Kakariko Village, which is awesome. There's Zora's Domain, all that good stuff. But there's also like it's not the same as Ocarina and the games that are more heavily focused on like the Zelda lore and the classic Zelda-ness of Zelda. So I think it is the best game from a game quality perspective, but for a pure Zelda experience, it's not the best.
Yeah.
But personally, I like it the most out of all the Zelda games because I play them for the game. I don't play them for the Zelda-ness of it. It's really complicated. My answer is pretty much yes. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of have to say the same thing. Because I think like this is the only Zelda game that I've fully gone through and beat.
Hmm.
Because even Majora's Mask, which is my second favorite, I still haven't beat it. Like I
Yeah.
think I was on like the second dungeon and I got stuck, and I just got like I kept going at it, but I just kept getting stuck, and I was like, screw it, I'm not gonna try anymore. But I still want to go back to that game. But with Breath of the Wild, I persevered and I beat that game. Like I got all the divine beasts. I found at
Yeah.
least like 3/4 of the shrines. So it was like, I really went through that grind to beat that game, and it's great in
Totally.
its own right.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish, I wish the tone of the game was a little different. Like
Mm.
it did seem at points where it was very like mushy, kind of romantic in terms, like with some of the cutscenes with Link and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, like with the memories.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I can
wish
see
that
that.
was a bit different. Like with Majora's Mask, I'm gonna go back to that. I like the edginess of the game. I like the darkness
Yeah.
of the game at times, especially when you see Link put on the masks for the first time. Like
Yeah, I totally
that's
agree.
nightmare. That's nightmare material.
Yeah, it's like Luigi's Mansion level
Exactly.
creepiness.
Exactly. Like I love that. But nevertheless, Breath of the Wild still. I mean, I raged at that game too, pretty bad at points.
Yeah, it's true.
The parts. I think it was the with the camel divine beast where you had to like
Mhm.
do the parts where you were like on a board and you were like riding and following the divine beast and you had to like.
Yeah.
I freaking hate that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that one much because that's the last Divine Beast I did.
Yeah, I think that was my third one, and it was just like no.
Yeah, yeah, that's tough.
All right. Oh, this one's interesting. I think we kind of touched on this a little bit, but we
Mhm.
always go over it again. What is a game that hasn't been announced that you want to come out? For example, a new Mario Kart.
Oh yeah, like a new game
Yeah, I
in the
guess
friend.
like a new game that if Nintendo were to announce it, you'd be like instantly like, I cannot wait for a game.
Oh yeah, okay. So like the game I'd be most hyped for if they announced it. Uh, like my selfish answer again, probably Super Mario Sunshine HD. But like a realistic answer, probably I would be really hyped for a new Paper Mario. Like if it was returning to like the classic form, the way it used to be. Uh, or just a new 3D Mario in general, because 3D Marios are my favorites. It's like my favorite type of game ever.
They're great games, yeah.
Yeah, totally. Galaxy 3 would be cool. I would freak out over that.
Oh, yeah, Galaxy's really good. I like Galaxy.
Yeah, that's my answer, I think. Yeah.
I would say, I think I said earlier, probably a new WarioWare game. Oh,
Yeah.
WarioWare. Oh, it's one of
I-
those things. And something I
Mhm.
want for the Nintendo Switch also is like this could work with WarioWare, but any game that really gives you a reason to buy Nintendo Switch Online. I mean, you have
True.
Smash, but it's like I don't know,
You
like
don't need to play it online.
yeah, you don't need to play it online. A
A lot
game,
of people do, but
yeah, but I mean, well, Splatoon, yeah, but like a game
yeah.
like makes you really like because like Smash and Splatoon, like I suck at both of those games.
Mhm.
Like for example, Mario
Me
Party
too.
would have been the perfect opportunity for me to really want to get online, but it's like, oh, you can only play 10 mini games. Like no, so give me a game that
True.
like that uses the online well,
True.
but like WarioWare, that's so much fun. But
And I could totally see them like realistically, I could see them making a WarioWare games for the Switch sometime soon. Also,
I hope they do. I wouldn't even be that upset, like because like there was Game and Wario for the Wii U. I actually really like that game.
yeah.
So if they did something like that, even I wouldn't care. Like just give
Hmm.
me Wario. Like he's a sexy
Yeah.
man. I want him in my life. Um. All right. Next up, we got two more questions to go. Or I guess maybe a third one because my friend's typing. Lightning Quiz 7 asks, what? Oh, geez. What Nintendo franchises do you think would work on mobile?
Oh boy,
Yeah.
that's a pretty big one. Uh,
is
Oh, you know what?
above a good answer.
Yeah, I feel like I had one the other day, I believe. I don't remember. Oh, I could see them doing like a Pokemon Go type thing, but with Pikmin.
They could.
Hmm, I could see that.
Do you think it would work though?
I think it would work, but I don't think it would be very popular because I think people would assume it's a ripoff of Pokemon Go, which it kind of would be.
Yeah, and especially because I think because Pokemon, like games like Pokemon and Mario and even Animal Crossing have a wide appeal. I think
Yeah.
Pikmin is one of those games that it's mainly a Nintendo fan thing.
Yeah, it's a little more niche.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. I don't know of any game. I really can't think of a game that like
Super Mario Run actually worked pretty well for mobile.
it did. Yeah, it did. But yeah, I got nothing on that. WarioWare.
Yeah, WarioWare, that'd be cool.
Yeah, or just or maybe some sort of Kirby game, because Kirby's simple,
Mm,
like a simple
true.
game that could work. Because you can't make a game for example, that's why I'm really worried about Mario Kart because
Yeah, it's a
it's very
complicated
complex.
game.
Yeah, so Mario Kart, I don't even know what they're going to do for that. And you can't
Mhm.
do a game like Luigi's Mansion or
Yeah,
they
those
made
games are just
Fire
too.
Emblem. But I guess Fire Emblem works because it's like a strategy game. But
Mhm. Yep.
oh boy. Next up, DJ Squirtle asks, this is a fun one. How long have you two known each other?
That's a
Literally,
great question.
we started talking because originally I wanted to do this kind of live stream for a while, but it was originally going to just be like Luigi's Mansion based, since that's what my channel is about. But I was like, screw it, just have a full on Nintendo, because it would be something that more people probably would enjoy, and
Yeah.
it's more, you can have more conversation out of it. So when did I
Yeah.
first contact you? Like a month
Uh,
ago?
I can look. Got it
Yeah,
right
'cause
here.
I think I just DM'd you on Instagram.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, and yeah, I think it's like a month or two ago at this point.
Let's see. Yeah, it was January 13th, so a month and a half.
Yeah, and
Um, and then there wasn't much for a little while, and
then I
then we
think
started
like in the
talking
last
again.
because we started planning this live stream about a week ago or so.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then,
exactly. It's been like a week. So like basically not long at all to answer
yeah,
your
really,
question.
no.
Yeah, this is the first time we've talked like communicated like in person, like
Yeah, but this is
voice to voice, I guess, like
our
versus over
experience.
text.
So. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why that whole awkward beginning part of, actually you probably didn't even see half of it because we probably didn't go live.
Yeah.
But it was completely awkward, but it was funny. So
It was great.
it was hilarious just trying to figure out how this worked because I used Google Hangouts a long time ago.
Yeah, same here. They changed it around a ton.
Yeah, it's not as simple as just going to Google Hangouts and doing it live. Uh,
Yeah.
so, all right.
Yep.
Looks like my friend is typing something because there's one more question that might be coming. No, he stopped typing. Okay, so last.
Cool.
Okay, never mind. Apparently, because of how we kind of work things out, apparently I hit 1,100 subscribers and you hit 580. So,
Oh
hey,
boy.
congrats to milestones, right?
Yeah, congrats.
So, hey,
Thank
we're
you guys for subscribing.
yeah, it's great.
Literally every single subscriber I get, like if the count goes up by one, I get like so excited.
Yeah,
So thank you very much.
I had a stale point with my YouTube where uh, like I've been doing YouTube for years. I've had a YouTube channel since 2012. And
Wow.
that's why when it comes to my videos, the views are really weird because I had people who are in dead accounts that subscribed years ago that just
Mm-hmm.
don't go on YouTube anymore or whatever. So it's now 2 years ago, I was stuck at 800 for the longest time.
Mm,
Just seeing that little bit going up, it's like, yay, I'm actually moving somewhere.
yeah. Yeah, I've been kind of stuck in like the 570 range for a while. Hopefully it'll pick up soon, but
And don't worry, I mean, you make
oh
good
yeah, I
content,
feel
so
you.
you're don't,
Thanks.
you're set.
Thank you.
So the
Hopefully.
last question for the night, which I guess I'll put more towards you, since for me it's kind of really easy to explain.
Mhm.
Where can the people who are left watching, if you watched this long, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for sticking around. My gosh, it's been
Like we
like
did
2
not
hours.
this, yeah, 2 hours. I didn't think it was gonna hit 2 hours, but we made it hit 2 hours. So hey. So anyways,
Yeah.
where can people find you on social media if they want to
Uh,
keep like following you for updates and such on what you do?
yeah, totally. If you wanna check out, more of my stuff, well, obviously my YouTube channel, which I think has been linked a couple times in the chat, but it's just CC Media, pretty easy. And then, I'm not on the only other social media I'm on is Instagram, and my account is just called CC Media Official. Because CC Media was already taken, so it's the official one. And it's all lowercase, no spaces, none of that. So you can go follow me if you want. I don't post too often, but I still post like sometimes to update you guys. Like when I'm on trips or something, that's what the main kind of purpose is for, to keep you guys informed in case video schedule is, in case something comes up. Also, just I post cool stuff sometimes. Anyways, yeah, follow me on Instagram and subscribe on YouTube if you're interested. Those
Yeah.
are my only two outlets, I guess. Oh, I have a Discord too, actually. CC Media Discord. I don't know how I can share that.
There's usually like in your Discord, there's like a little link that you can just like uh, share.
Mhm.
I don't know the link offhand, but
Maybe I'll like put it on the Instagram or something.
yeah. Oh yeah, because you can put like a little like a link thing.
You can put like a website link, yeah. So I might do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Cool.
Oh, my friend linked your Instagram in the chat. Perfect.
Thank you very much,
There you go.
Romango.
Right. Well, I don't know. I guess that's really it, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm just gonna make sure we went through everything in our document, but I think we
We
did.
covered, yeah, we covered a lot of stuff today.
Yeah, we like I said, 2 hours. I didn't. Wow, it's crazy. It's
Pretty
3 o'clock
awesome.
in the morning where I am.
Dang, you got to get to bed, man. It's 9 o'clock for me.
It's not my bedtime. I don't have bedtime anymore.
Yeah.
I'm a big boy.
Oh yeah. It is my bedtime though. My bedtime is 8 o'clock, so I'm an hour past. No, I'm just kidding.
Shame, you're grounded for a month.
Yep.
Oh,
This is
right. Yeah,
a lot of
that was the
fun.
yeah, we'll go to bed. Well, I mean, I'm going to bed right after this.
Same
Um,
here.
review out there. Okay.
Yeah, I think we got it all done.
Yeah. We'll definitely have to do this again sometime.
Yeah, totally. Do more collabs, whether it's streams or videos or whatever. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, actually, I didn't even answer my part of the question about social media. It's all in the description. So check out the description. I'm not going to talk about my social media.
Oh,
So
cool. Yeah.
yeah, just,
Awesome.
yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much for having me on, Zach.
Anytime. We'll have to do it again sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So okay. So this is the awkward part again.
How do we end it?
Okay, here we go. Yeah, there's the button. All right, guys.
All right,
Thanks
cool.
for watching. And like I said, we'll probably do this again someday. Maybe on his channel, maybe on mine. We'll figure something out.
Cool.
Yeah. So good fun.
All right. Thanks again. See you guys. See you, Zach.
Guys. See you later.